The thick, suffocating poison mist spread out, causing one's breath to slow involuntarily. A colossal roar suddenly erupted. Foolish, ignorant humans. Instantly, a mocking voice rose from atop the stone hall in front of them, and a monstrous creature emerged into everyone's sight. So this is the so-called 8-Venom demon snake? Xiao said, his gaze fixed ahead as a familiar shock spread across his heart. The 8-Venom demon snake, derived from the ancient variant, the 8-headed serpent, was said to be an extraordinarily powerful magical beast. The birth or arrival of the 8-headed serpent would bring endless calamity, with its 8 heads and 8 tails, and within it, a legendary divine sword. The 8-Venom demon snake possessed 8 heads and 8 tails, with snake heads as mysterious as dragon heads. Its eyes glowed with a blood-red hue, and its back was covered in countless moss and poison markings, giving it the appearance of a rotten, frail corpse. The entire body was often shrouded in dark clouds, its size resembling that of a mountain, evoking a suffocating sensation. Ryup. At that very moment, the smallest of the 8-Venom demon snake's heads stirred and rapidly elongated, launching an attack toward Xiao. This magical snake's body was emerald green, with a faint mist of poisonous gas swirling around it. Even Poison Soul Child couldn't help but feel a sense of dread. Sacred flame armor. Flame mantra. Xiao exhaled heavily, his dazzling sacred flame armor enveloping every corner of his body. He then activated the flame mantra, and an ancient little flame cauldron floated in front of his chest, exuding an endless air of mystery. The divine inscriptions inside also began to operate. Against such a powerful foe as the 8-Venom demon snake, there was no need to hold back. From the beginning, he had to use his most powerful moves. Flame of the Golden Crow. Xun'er, understanding her brother Xiao's intentions, took the lead. The artifact bracelet surged, and the 5-legged golden crow's body immediately manifested, stirring the entire poison mist magic cavern. Oh, sacred flame? The remaining 7 snake heads let out a simultaneous exclamation, their eyes locking onto Xiao and Xun'er. Although their cultivation was only at the first-tier reincarnation stage, combined with the power of sacred flame, they could easily deal with a normal second-tier opponent and even struggle against a third-tier reincarnation stage. However, their own strength was at the 4th tier. Moreover, this poison god demon cavern was their home ground. This time, they were certain of victory. Even though they were born with cold, sinister natures, if they could obtain the sacred flame inside these 2 humans, they were confident in breaking through their current limits and advancing to the 5th tier. Boom! A series of glaring emerald green poison mist erupted from the 8th snake's mouth. Xiao and Xun'er swiftly dodged, but the marsh below was eroded and sunk in, the very void around them being corroded clean. This 8-Venom demon snake's venom was truly terrifying. Wheel of the Golden Crow. Reversal. Feeling the poison mist swirling in front of them, Xun'er frowned and scolded, her 5-legged golden crow standing proudly behind her, launching forward like an arrow released from a bow. Whoosh! Whoosh! As soon as the 5-legged golden crow manifested, immense golden flame wings flapped, causing the surrounding energy in the marsh to become agitated. The sharp sound of wind slashing through the air echoed, and a powerful flame force quietly spread. Spirit of the artifact? The 8-Venom demon snake was naturally unaware of the connection between the 5-legged golden crow and the artifact bracelet. Looking at the overwhelming power of the 5-legged golden crow, its eyes grew cold. A spirit of an artifact containing firepower was the most troublesome. Xun'er, fall back a little. A furious roar rang out, followed by a ripple of flames sweeping across. Boom! Columns of flames in various colors erupted, enveloping the entire poison god demon cavern. The constant flow of formation inscriptions and sacred flame power transformed the area from a poison-filled hell into a fiery world. 450,000 core inscriptions. Heavenly demon formation. Sacred flame inscription. In that moment, Xiao combined the little flame cauldron with the heavenly demon formation, adding even more powerful strength to the original setup. 5 flame light seals, each about the size of a meter, slowly spiraled around Xiao, sending out terrifying waves. The entire void began to crack and shatter. The 5 sacred flame inscriptions seemed small and weak, but they were the perfect embodiment of sacred flame power, and when combined with the power of the formation, even the current 8 Venom demon snake was shaken. Sly humans. The 8 Venom demon snake roared furiously, and its 8 snake bodies began to close in, always on the lookout for the formation's movements and Xiao's actions. The power of a formation master was naturally formidable, but the drawback was also quite obvious. The setup of formations required time. Fortunately, the 8 Venom demon snake had been distracted by Xun'er, giving Xiao enough time. Moments later, the 8 heads of the 8 Venom demon snake surged, and countless poisonous mists poured out from within its body, creating a dazzling explosion of toxic fog. Boom! The overwhelming poisonous fog exploded like fireworks within the upgraded Heavenly Demon formation, creating a bizarre standoff between brilliant flames and the vibrant toxic fog. Serpent Scorpion Poison, 10,000 Source Poison, Desolate Blood Poison, Confusion Poison Fog. Seeing that all their efforts were futile in breaking through this formation, the 4 heads of the 8 Venom demon snake began to sway. Then, they opened their massive jaws, shooting out 4 globes of venomous power directly toward Xiao. Xiao, be careful. The 8 Venom demon snake masters 8 extremely terrifying poisons. If they strike, the consequences will be unimaginable. At this moment, little fairy doctor hurriedly shouted, knowing better than anyone how incredibly powerful the 8 types of venom the 8 Venom demon snake possessed were. Tear! The 4 globes of poison collided with the formation, causing the flames within the formation to immediately freeze. In the blink of an eye, the 4 toxic globes exploded, and an indescribable poison storm erupted, raging around Xiao, generating enough force to slightly tear the incredibly powerful formation apart with cracks. The 8 Venom demon snake is indeed no ordinary foe, but sacred flame power, demon suppressing pillar, suppress them. Xiao eyes remained calm as he observed the ravaging poison storm. He could clearly sense the imminent destructive danger, but he showed no fear. His hand slowly spread open, and a terrifying suction began to absorb all the power within the formation. At the same time, 5 sacred flame runes began rapidly spinning on Xiao's broad hand. Coupled with the terrifying power of the 440,000 formation runes, they swept through everything. In the blink of an eye, a small ancient flame cauldron emerged from Xiao's palm. Surrounded by the 5 sacred flame runes, a fiery beam of light, barely an inch long, shot out from the cauldron. As soon as the flame beam appeared, it rapidly expanded. Within moments, it grew to a size of over 1,000 feet. The beam was imbued with an ancient aura, and with the power of the 5 sacred flame runes, it seemed to make all the energy in the void calm down. The power of suppression and destruction was overwhelmingly strong. How is this possible? Sacred flame? How could you possess so many sacred flames? The existence of multiple sacred flames in one body will only lead to explosive death. The ancient demon-suppressing fire pillar emerged, its countless flame runes stirring, causing the proud 8 Venom demon snake to tremble in fear. Moments later, all 8 heads of the 8 Venom demon snake spoke in unison. Their eyes locked onto the ancient fire beam, their voices cold with fear, filled with unmistakable terror. Demon-suppressing pillar. Suppress. The grand voice echoed through the formation like rolling thunder, causing the flame beam, covered in countless ancient, sacred flame runes, to suppress all the energy of the heavens and earth in the void. It then slowly moved toward the 8 Venom demon snake's resting position. Just this subtle movement caused the entire space within the formation to feel as though it was reflecting downward, the immense pressure making Xun'er and the others struggle to breathe. If not for Xiao's protection through his control over the formation, their strength would have likely led to their instant demise. The intensity of this fluctuation was even comparable to the merging of Xiao's 6 sacred flames. Boom! Yellow flames, purple flames, and several other flames intertwined, amplifying the terror of the scene. Even though the 8 Venom demon snake's poison abilities were legendary, it was burned to ashes and vanished in the endless flames. Poof! A crisp sound echoed as the 8 Venom demon snake's body was lightly suppressed. A bone-cracking sound followed. Roar! The scorching divine flames continued to sear the 8 Venom demon snake's body. Its blood and poisonous fog rapidly dried up. However, the 8 Venom demon snake let out a long howl, releasing more poisonous mist in a desperate attempt to resist Xiao Yan's attack. Sacred Flame Inscription. Formation Runes. Suppress them. Seeing the poison demon beast's fierce resistance, Xiao Yan could clearly sense the fluctuations spreading from the 8 snake bodies. 4th tier reincarnation stage. If this battle didn't end quickly, the losing side would likely be Xiao Yan and his group. After all, a poison demon beast at the 4th tier reincarnation stage was not something Xiao Yan could currently match. Xiao Yan snorted coldly once more, his hand shifting. Countless sacred flame fire flowed out from his body and into the flame beam. With Xiao Yan's nearly full-strength infusion, the massive ancient flame pillar hummed loudly, as though some ancient, vast sound was reverberating. The protective poison mist, which was infused with the power of the 8 types of venom from the 8 Venom demon snake and its 4-tiered strength, actually collapsed under Xiao Yan's tactics, crumbling like soil and tiles. Little brat. As the protective poison mist was shattered, a pillar of flames marked with sacred flame inscriptions pressed down mercilessly onto the smooth scales of the 8 Venom demon snake, sending waves of intense, scalp-tingling power that pierced its very heart. Power of the 8 poisons. Poison demon heavenly mist. The 8 Venom demon snake quickly retreated, gradually backing to the edge of the formation. The scorching sacred flames, combined with the sacred flame pillars, made the 8 Venom demon snake wish for death. Then, gritting its teeth, the 8 cold, murderous eyes flashed with a chilling intent, and it howled in anger. Roar! Roar! 8 strange roars rang out from the 8 heads. In an instant, all the snake heads sucked in forcefully, releasing countless venomous liquids that formed a grayish mist in front of it. The mist appeared ethereal and fragile, but the poisonous force contained within it was deadly. The moment it appeared, Xiao Yan's breath and mind trembled. This level of venom and poison mist was the first of its kind that Xiao Yan had encountered. Xun'er, help me. At this moment, Xiao Yan did not dare to be careless. He quickly called out to Xun'er below. Origin of the sacred flame. Xun'er twisted her jade-like hand, and golden liquid flowed from her body, shooting toward Xiao Yan. Perish here. As the formation space around them buzzed, about to shatter at any moment, Xiao Yan caught the origin of the sacred flame that Xun'er sent over. 6 sacred inscriptions were imprinted on the flame pillars, and he sent them crashing down onto the 8 Venom demon snake with ferocious force. Bang! 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 The ancient power contained within the 6 sacred inscriptions was unstoppable, no matter how the 8 Venom demon snake resisted. After a few minutes, its final defense slowly dissipated, followed by resounding explosions from its body. First, the core of the 8 Venom demon snake's power began to waver. Its 8 heads were on the verge of collapse, their pitiful cries echoing. Even its massive body turned a deep red, a strange roasting appearance emerging. Under the roasting power of the sacred flame, it would probably become a desiccated corpse in just a few minutes. Who? Venomous liquid of 8 different colors dripped from the snake heads, and the 8 Venom demon snake barely managed to withstand the destructive attack. Its eyes locked onto Xiao Yan with fierce hostility. This insignificant first-tier reincarnation stage human had forced it into such a miserable state. It would never let him off easily. Dragon God Claw. Just as the 8 Venom demon snake thought it had survived the worst of Xiao Yan's strongest blow, a deep sound of wind breaking rang out, accompanied by tremors in the air. A powerful force swept toward it. Whoosh! The claw struck, and eerie, dark green blood dripped from the 8 heads, accompanied by the sickening sound of dislocated bones. Bang! 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 The 8 Venom demon snake's massive body froze instantly, its eyes narrowing as it realized that its life force was rapidly draining from within. Moments later, its enormous body crashed to the ground. At the same time, the shattered heavenly demon formation collapsed under the impact of its massive weight, restoring the space to its original state. Cough, cough. After dealing with the massive creature, Xiao sat cross-legged in midair, a mouthful of blood spilling from his lips as he struggled to regulate his breathing. The battle just now had been swift and decisive, every move a killing blow. For Xiao, it was as though he had exhausted all his techniques. Without the help of the 6 sacred inscriptions, it would have been nearly impossible to defeat the 8 Venom demon snake. Of course, there might have been a bit of underestimation from the 8 Venom demon snake, but now, this poisonous magical beast had suffered a real blow, as if it were a lamb awaiting slaughter. Xiao, are you all right? Xiao, are you okay? Though it was the best moment to deal the final blow to the 8 Venom demon snake, despite its great value, no one dared to act rashly. 2 worried voices called out to Xiao, and 2 concerned figures appeared by his side. Poison Soul Child shot a resentful glance at Xiao. After all the effort to find a woman with the Poison God's body for the Poison God Palace, it seemed that the situation was slipping out of his control. I'm fine. Go ahead and strip away the poison core and other treasures from the 8 Venom demon snake. It still has a breath left. Don't let your guard down. Xiao acted calm and composed, standing up and gazing at the Poison God demon pool. At this moment, the 8 Venom demon snake's aura had clearly faded, on the verge of death. After being struck by the 6 sacred inscriptions, even this powerful 4-tier reincarnation stage poison magical beast had no way to resist. Opening his eyes, Xiao released his soul power, and immediately noticed that the massive body of the 8 Venom demon snake was slowly sinking, being drawn into the poisonous pool below. As for the Poison Soul Child, she seemed to be deep in thought. Meanwhile, the edge of the poison snake demon pool's void began to ripple, as if something strange and elusive was hiding within. Let's go. After recovering a bit of Do Qi, Xiao and his companions activated a brilliant flame barrier to protect themselves, then dived into the demon pool below, chasing after the fallen 8 Venom demon god. They were now deep within the Poison God Palace and had to quickly capture the 8 Venom demon snake to avoid any further complications. Just as Xiao and the others vanished from sight, a few uninvited guests arrived in the depths of the demon Poison God pool. Lord Venom Fong, once we reach the 8 Venom demon snake's domain, you must lend a hand. After I absorb the power of the 8 Venom demon snake, our Scorpion Serpent sect will certainly not treat you unfairly. 2 figures concealed within the poisonous mist slowly emerged from the void. One was a woman, her face pale with a noticeable scorpion bloodstain on her cheek. Her eerie, ghastly smile made her look particularly sinister. This beast's strength is said to have reached the 4th-tier reincarnation stage. After I help you kill it, the Queen of 10,000 Poisons of the Poison God Palace will likely come for the kill. I hope you don't waste my good intentions. An elderly man with a dark, yellowish complexion stroked his beard, speaking in a relaxed tone. Upon closer inspection, his aura was that of a peak 3rd-tier reincarnation stage practitioner. It seemed that, judging by the woman's words, this elderly man was a powerful figure from the Poison God Palace. With the top-tier poison techniques of the Poison God Palace, combined with his strength, he certainly had the qualifications to hunt the 8 Venom demon snake. He, of course. The woman coldly smiled. Once I obtain this beast's power, I will strongly recommend you enter that coveted place in the Poison God Palace. The Poison God Palace Estate. At the mention of the Poison God Palace Estate, the elderly man's aura suddenly surged with a burning heat, as if that place had an irresistible pull on him. Where is the 8 Venom demon snake? Wait, this fluctuation. This isn't good. This beast has probably been taken by someone else already. When they reached the depths of the demon Poison God pool, and saw the shattered void and the burning remnants of flames, Lord Venom Fong's expression darkened in fury. Creatures like the 8 Venom demon snake, which guarded the Poison God Palace, were known to be extremely vicious. It was not surprising that someone had hunted it. However, there had been no reports of beast hunts recently within the palace. They must have been intercepted by thieves. I'll find out who it was that killed the 8 Venom demon snake before me. Lord, please follow me down there. The woman's cold eyes locked onto the mist-covered mire below. She had sensed the faint trace of the 8 Venom demon snake's hidden aura, and a murderous intent welled up inside her. Let's go. They exchanged a glance, their bodies surrounded by toxic mist, and they advanced one after the other into the depths below. The fluctuations in their toxic mist were so strong that even the poison hag and poison soul child couldn't approach them. Brother Xiao, the power of the toxic mist here is getting stronger. We'll reach our limit in less than 100 meters. Without the protection of the flame barrier, our situation will be extremely dangerous. On the other side, even with the protection of Little Fairy Doctor's poison mist, the blessings of the deer antler, and the shield of the sacred flame, the 3 powers only slowed their descent by about 800 meters. Thick, dense poison liquid, which distorted the very essence of their soul power, flowed around them like a river. Once their protective energy was breached by this poison liquid, it would likely corrode their life force in an instant and destroy them completely. Why is this happening? The poison god demon pool wasn't like this in my memories. What exactly is going on? At this moment, Poison Soul Child gritted her teeth, her gaze fixed on the increasingly dense dark green poison liquid below, a sense of unease creeping into her heart. Rip. Unlike Xiao and the others, Little Fairy Doctor had entered a space uniquely suited to her. Her body became like an endless black vortex, drawing in countless toxins and poison liquid. The poison core within her and her body, refined by numerous toxins, became even more sinister and strange. It shouldn't be. The 8 Venom demon snake is far too large to disappear like this right before our eyes. Moreover, it is barely alive, incapable of using any more power. The group slowed their descent and began carefully observing their surroundings. Could it be that the 8 Venom demon snake was corroded by the toxic mud here? After a moment, Xun'er appeared somewhat worried. Impossible. The venomous power of the 8 Venom demon snake is incredibly strong, and its body is covered with treasures. It wouldn't be so fragile. Chi-chi, shishi. Suddenly, before their conversation had ended, eerie sounds began to emerge from the surrounding toxic mud pits. The sound seemed to come from some kind of creature, its voice filled with a soul-shaking sensation. With the appearance of these sounds, a series of hissing corrosion sounds rang out, accompanied by bursts of white mist emerging from the toxic mud pits. The terrifying corrosive power felt suffocating. Ryup. In an instant, a wave of white energy, resembling ripples in water, surged out from the mud pit. Retreat. Xiao immediately sensed something abnormal and shouted urgently. Something mysterious seems to be down there. Little Fairy Doctor's poison core and woeful poison body emitted an eerie glow, and she spoke softly. It seemed that at this moment, her poison core within her body flickered, releasing a mysterious aura, as if something down below had an irresistible attraction to her poison core. The attraction was even stronger than that of the poison core inside the 8 Venom demon snake. Boom, boom. Another wave of attacks emerged, and instantly, a violent wave surged through the toxic mud pits, countless thick toxic liquids and mists roaring toward the group. The corrosive power contained within them could even erode soul power and sacred flame. Whoosh whoosh. No matter how terrifying the toxic mist attacks were, as soon as they came into contact with Xiao and the others, Little Fairy Doctor's poison core surged, instantly devouring them. After absorbing the toxic liquid and mist, strange, crawling poison mist and insects began to move under the skin of Little Fairy Doctor's face, and even her poison core and power were rapidly increasing at a terrifying speed. The cultivation of the woeful poison body was inherently easier, and unless encountering insurmountable bottlenecks, the stronger the poison power, the more terrifying the amplification to her abilities. Boom, boom. The entire dark green toxic mist pit was turbulent. Xiao and the others were still slowly descending, but it seemed as though some unknown creatures were crawling around. Horrifying toxic mist ripples continued to shoot toward the group. With the back-and-forth exchange of attacks, it seemed Xiao Yin and the others were nearing their limit, yet the mud pit below showed no signs of an end. The sensation felt like being toyed with by an unknown creature. Once their protective energy shields were depleted, the mysterious creature would strike a fatal blow. What was even stranger was that no matter how Xiao Yin and the others used their soul power or other methods, they couldn't detect this mysterious creature hiding within the space of the toxic mud pit. Damn it! At this rate, in less than a minute, our energy shields will be completely gone, and we'll face the most deadly toxic mist in the pit. This is already the territory of this mysterious creature. We probably won't survive unless it allows us to leave. In the dead silence of the void, toxic mist ripples surged with violent force. Every time they touched Xiao Yin and the others' protective shields, a sharp hissing sound followed, and as some white mist appeared, the once indestructible energy shields began to show faint cracks, likely to shatter completely soon. At this point, there's no other choice. Xiao Yan's expression grew extremely solemn, and after a moment, he voluntarily dispelled his protective shield, his gaze locked firmly on the unknown creature in the toxic mud pit. Boom, boom. Xun'er and Poison Soul Child did not hesitate either, directly following suit. Without the protection of their shields, aside from Little Fairy Doctor and Poison Soul Child, who were unharmed, Xiao Yin and Xun'er felt a heavy pressure on their chests. With each passing second, their breathing and internal energy slowed a little. Thud, thud. The moment their protective shields vanished, the entire toxic mud pit began to churn. A green creature, roughly the size of a man, crawled out. Its eyes reflected an intense, greedy aura as it locked onto Xiao Yin and the others. Poison Man? Suddenly, a strong sense of excitement appeared in Little Fairy Doctor's eyes. Looking up, she could clearly see its full form, a creature with a human head and a serpent's body. Strangely, its snake tail had scorpion-like barbs, and it looked at Little Fairy Doctor with wild fervor. Its body was surrounded by an overwhelming toxic aura, and its presence was suffocating. Woeful Poison Body, activate. Poison Core, operate. A loud voice rang out from Little Fairy Doctor's mouth. Before the poisonous creature could make a move, viscous, slightly greenish poison liquid surged out from her body, breaking free from the constraints of the toxic pit space and rapidly shooting toward the creature below. The Poison Man had just opened his mouth, intending to tear and devour both Xiao Yin and Xun'er, but as he did so, he noticed the surge of poison spreading out, filling the air with an excited aura. His mouth opened and closed, and in one motion, he devoured it all. After swallowing the poison mist, the Poison Man's body instantly expanded dozens of times. Enormous dark green wings suddenly sprouted from his back. With a light flap, they stirred up a poisonous mist storm that surged toward Xiao Yin and the others. I still need some time. My poison is spreading through his limbs and bones. Only then will I be able to control him. Little Fairy Doctor closed her eyes after speaking. Her body became cold and sinister under the enhancement of the poison core, but Xiao Yin could sense that there was a faint, almost imperceptible connection between her and the Poison Man. Rip. The Poison Man revealed himself, his soul power and sacred flame barrier reappearing. With the help of the gentle power released by the two shaman deer violet spirit flame horns, he could still resist for a while. Xiao Yin waved his hand, and immediately, the poison mist storm was extinguished in an instant. Flames blazed like torches, and ancient patterns completely enveloped Xiao Yan's body. Senior Poison Hag, please look after Xun'er and Little Fairy Doctor. After speaking, Xiao Yin once again activated the sacred flame domain to shield the three of them. His body moved, carrying a surge of violent power, and he launched an attack directly at the Poison Man. Thud. Watching his attack fizzle out, the Poison Man stuck out his tongue and licked his lips. Little Fairy Doctor's woeful poison body, combined with the poison core, was highly alluring to him. Thunderball. In an instant, a figure woven from flames and thunder cut through the void, charging straight toward the Poison Man's position. While Xiao Yin acted decisively, the Poison Man remained silent, as if mute. His eyes narrowed slightly, and the hooked stinger on his scorpion tail exuded a terrifying poisonous mist, quickly retreating. Thud. In the blink of an eye, a ball of light filled with gray thunder and fire suddenly appeared where the poison man had been standing. The thunder-fire light ball, resembling a destructive energy sphere, caused the entire demon poison god pool to hum, and faint cracks appeared in the void from the explosion. Damn it! After missing his strike, Xiao Yan's brows furrowed. It seemed like the poison man had seen through both his movement and his attack trajectory. This kind of battle was unlike anything he had faced before. Just as Xiao Yan hesitated, the space behind him suddenly trembled. A shadow shot forward like lightning, and the sharp, venomous scorpion tail aimed for the top of Xiao Yan's head. I was waiting for you. Boom. The sharp scorpion hook missed Xiao Yan, instead being tightly wrapped by a brilliantly shining green light hand. Little fairy doctor, now's your chance. After stopping the poison man's attack, Xiao Yan shouted to the figure behind him. Woeful poison body. Devour. Hearing this, little fairy doctor suddenly opened her eyes, and a massive surge of poisonous mist erupted from her body. Her internal energy flared up, and a green bead the size of a dragon's eye shot out from the corner of her lips, speeding toward the poison man. With the force that had already entered his body, the poison man seemed to lose some control. Boom. The poison core left her body, and little fairy doctor's complexion instantly turned pale. However, the poison man beside her, affected by the poison core, was continuously draining the power from his own body. It seemed as if the poison core was endlessly absorbing the sinister poison mist within the poison man's body. Now it should be fine. Seeing this orderly scene, Xun'er smiled, feeling relieved. The Poison God Palace was filled with powerful poison users, and for them, masters of Sacred Flame. The Sacred Flame's power, while incredibly strong, couldn't be fully utilized here. After all, no matter how strong one's power, being poisoned secretly didn't require direct confrontation. It could silently annihilate the enemy, and that was the highest level of poison use. Thud, thud. The poison core continued to absorb the poison man's power, and the entire space gradually quieted down. The poison man, however, made no move. He seemed like a mindless body, just letting the energy be drained. Wait, something's wrong with this poison man's aura. An ancient power that even the Sacred Flame fears is stirring. Little fairy doctor, quickly take back your poison core. A few breaths later, Xiao Yan, holding the poison man's scorpion tail in his dragon god form, suddenly wore an expression of rare seriousness. His veins bulged, sweat dripping uncontrollably from his face, and he almost shouted at little fairy doctor. Wum, wum, wum. At the moment when the jade cauldron of the burial demon river appeared, all the poison, toxic mist, and poison transformations in the demon poison god pool quieted down. The most direct feeling of this change was experienced by Xiao Yan, who was very close. Xiao Yan felt as if the jade cauldron was filled with an indescribable destructive wave. To touch it would mean instant death. What exactly is this? Xiao Yan tried to pull his hand away, but found that his palm had been completely stuck to the tail barb of the scorpion serpent venom man, though he didn't know when it had happened. Feeling the ancient wave coming from the jade cauldron in front of him, a thread of fear surged from the depths of his soul, making Xiao Yan clearly realize that the jade cauldron floating above the scorpion serpent venom man's head was probably no ordinary item. Let me do it. At this moment, little fairy doctor's delicate face changed slightly. Then, her figure floated and instantly appeared by Xiao Yan's side. She gently gritted her teeth, and her jade-white hand overlapped with Xiao Yan's arm, both resisting the scorpion serpent venom man's deadly tail barb. You! Xiao Yan felt the delicate figure so close to him, and the cold touch emanating from her arms surprised him. Move! Little fairy doctor didn't answer Xiao Yan. She used all her strength to push him back and took the position he had originally been in. Crack! With a sound, Xiao Yan, Xun'er, and Poison Soul Child were instantly protected by little fairy doctor's poison core, while she herself had no protection. Her skin came into direct contact with the scorpion serpent venom man. The dark green toxic liquid and mist slowly seeped through her arm from the poison man, and then gradually entered little fairy doctor's delicate body. Her body trembled. Her lips turned dry and purple, but the whole space remained eerily quiet. No matter how terrifying the poison mist was, it caused no turmoil when it affected little fairy doctor. This thing, could it be the legendary? The poison god cauldron, lost for ages by the poison god palace? After a few breaths, Poison Soul Child spoke in astonishment. His pupils contracted slightly as he looked at the pure jade cauldron floating above the scorpion serpent Venom man's head. Poison God Cauldron? It ranks third among the 7 divine artifacts of the demon realm. Hearing Poison Soul Child's words, Xun'er, too, looked at the jade cauldron in shock. The cauldron appeared to have ancient divine carvings on its surface, and the power of the poison mist was incredibly terrifying. Most importantly, the cauldron's shape seemed faint and illusory, like a mere projection. Poison Man, this is a special species of our poison god palace. Those skilled in poison use their supreme venomous power to capture some very special human monsters, using poison as a guide to refine them into poison men. The strength of poison men is not categorized by reincarnation stages, but by the level of control their creator has over poison. Take this scorpion serpent poison man for example. Its head is human, and its body is serpentine. Its strength is unclear, but its combat power is enough to threaten even those at the 3rd-tier reincarnation stage. There's definitely something valuable at the bottom of this toxic pool. Poison Soul Child's body trembled as he excitedly explained. Poison men, like the scorpion serpent Venom man, are considered treasures even in the Poison God Palace. How could one appear here? Not to mention, this Poison Man even has a projection of the 3rd divine artifact of the demon realm. It seems all signs point to the deeper part of this poison pool. Boom, boom, boom. In an instant, little fairy doctor's woeful poison body completely exploded, and waves of dark green poison mist emanated from her body, slowly moving toward the jade cauldron above the scorpion serpent Venom man's head. Plop. The two forces clashed, and the poison mist released by little fairy doctor, capable of devouring everything, was instantly nullified by the cauldron. After absorbing the mist, the jade cauldron trembled slightly and then vanished. Plop. As the projection of the jade cauldron disappeared, the scorpion serpent Venom man seemed to have received some kind of guidance. Its speed suddenly surged as it shot toward the void below. Follow him. Little fairy doctor shouted, her delicate body trembling as she raised a poison mist barrier to protect herself. She leapt into the deeper space of the poison pool. The poison mist below was even more threatening, but at the same time, a faint calling seemed to be drawing her in. Most importantly, the fleeting appearance of the legendary demon realm artifact made little fairy doctor feel that there was another world below. Plop plop. Controlled by little fairy doctor, the scorpion serpent Venom man's speed increased dramatically as it raced toward the depths below. The resulting winds created countless poison mist storms, making the entire poison pool world look incredibly dangerous. Glub. After a long while, just as Xiao and the others' protective barriers were about to reach their limits and their expressions grew grim, a green barrier suddenly appeared in front of them. Below, there's probably a barrier space? Xiao frowned and then said in a deep voice. In the special void covered by the barrier, a wave of extremely ancient energy suddenly spread. Even the sacred flame and Xun'er's artifact bracelet emitted a hum. Brother Xiao look, it's the 8 Venom demon snake. Xun'er focused her eyes and instantly saw a massive body lying motionless at the edge of the green barrier, almost as if in a dying state. Is it dealt with? Without acting recklessly, Xiao figure flashed, and he directly appeared beside little fairy doctor. The scorpion serpent Venom man has already been controlled. Little fairy doctor's beautiful eyes tightened, as if staring at the green barrier in a daze. In that case, let's first extract the demon core, poison core, and other items from the 8 Venom demon snake to help lay your foundation. We can deal with the world below later. Xiao gaze swept around. Seeing that the dense poison mist had been isolated, he spoke up. Defeating the 8 Venom demon snake had been quite an exhausting effort. If it managed to absorb the poison mist and recover, it would surely cause a lot of trouble. After all, the power of a dough formation master couldn't be used again for at least 10 days, and at most, a month. That was a disadvantage. Everyone nodded and immediately began their actions. Xiao Yin and Little Fairy Doctor led the way, both arriving at the side of the 8 Venom demon snake. One exuded an overwhelming poisonous aura, while the other had a fiery, glass-like flame that gradually released an extremely terrifying temperature. Boom! With the poison mist no longer obstructing them, the blazing sacred flame turned into a sea of fire, wrapping around the 8 Venom demon snake. The terrifying heat erupted instantly, causing its body to sizzle loudly as it was scorched. Ah! A miserable screech echoed, and the 8 snake eyes glared at Xiao Yin and the others with hatred. However, at this point, it had no means of resistance, only awaiting its inevitable destruction. Ryup! Crackle, crackle. As the flames roasted, explosive, low rumbling sounds emanated from the body of the 8 Venom demon snake. With Little Fairy Doctor absorbing all of the protective poison mist surrounding the 8 Venom demon snake, its body, limbs, and skin were quickly turned to ash by Xiao Yan's sacred flame, revealing its true core. Flames and ashes overflowed, and the 8 Venom demon snake's life force rapidly faded. Its massive body shrank at an astonishing rate, and a stunningly beautiful demon core slowly began to shine, accompanied by drops of crimson blood that flickered faintly. Seeing this, Xiao Yin remained unfazed and calmly increased the power of his flames. In nearly 10 minutes, the massive body of the 8 Venom demon snake had transformed into 2 light spheres. One was a palm-sized sphere of crimson blood, which had been concentrated by Xiao Yan's sacred flame, now representing the essence of the 8 Venom demon snake. The other was the so-called demon core, also known as the poison core, a manifestation of countless concentrated powers. Here, take it. Xiao Yin casually flicked his hand, sending the 2 items toward Little Fairy Doctor. These things were only useful to her. Boom! Just as the 2 spheres were about to reach Little Fairy Doctor's hands, the surrounding void suddenly darkened, and a tremendous force surged forth. Russell, thank you. The void collapsed, and a massive yellow energy hand suddenly reached out to grab the 2 spheres of essence from the 8 Venom demon snake. The void twisted again, and 2 figures slowly emerged before Xiao Yin and the others. Their figures were shadowy, surrounded by a violent poison mist, and they wore expressions of frenzied malice, resembling demons. Be careful. Xiao Yin stretched out his hand, protecting Little Fairy Doctor behind him, and then coldly looked at the 2 figures ahead. Both figures were emitting powerful waves of poison mist energy, and an intense sense of danger radiated from the older figure. However, Xiao Yin was somewhat surprised. These 2 had managed to escape his soul detection and had covertly taken the 2 spheres of essence from the 8 Venom demon snake. If one didn't have a bit of true strength, such situations, where one was used as a pawn, could easily lead to trouble. Russell. Thank you. A long voice slowly echoed from the edge of the isolated green barrier. The old figure's body surged as he held a sphere of light in each hand. He gently rubbed the spheres, feeling the pulsating vibrations from the crimson demon core. A chilling and heated smile crept across his face. Although these items were useless to him, the Poison Fang Elder was somewhat pleased, as it saved him the trouble of hunting the 8 Venom demon snake. Poison Fang? What are you doing? This is the precious poison god body I painstakingly selected from the great thousand world, and you're undermining me. Return those 2 spheres of power. Seeing this, Poison Soul Child immediately shouted with a serious tone, clearly recognizing the 2 figures that suddenly appeared. The Poison Fang Elder, a member of the Poison God Palace, and the Scorpion Serpent Sect's Poison Maiden. Hee. Poison Hag, Poison Soul Child. Huh? What you say is true. But today, I've also brought my disciple to hunt the 8 Venom demon snake. Elder Venom Fang's expression darkened, a sly smile creeping across his face. However, Xiao Yin could sense that this old immortal's gaze frequently swept over Little Fairy Doctor, as if he were probing her for something. Moreover, Considering how effortlessly this guy seized the 2 energy essences of the 8 Venom demon snake beast, it was clear that he harbored ill intentions. Xun'er, protect little fairy Dr. well later. Inside Xiao Yan's body, the 5 sacred flames slowly stirred and began to merge within his Doqi Sea. Secretly, he communicated with Xun'er using his soul power. Understood. Xun'er nodded slightly. She knew well that little fairy doctor, having just broken through to the Doxian realm, was definitely no match for the 2 reincarnation experts before them. Immediately, golden flames ignited on her delicate body, and she moved a little closer to little fairy doctor. If the enemy showed any hostility, she would use her sacred flame and the power of her divine artifact to protect her. Little fairy doctor noticed this and, though a bit displeased, knew she couldn't take any more action. She could only clench her teeth and stand firm. However, at that moment, little fairy doctor's attention wasn't on the 2 in front of her, but on the poisonous scorpion man standing motionless at the edge of the green barrier, seemingly lost in thought. What the elder says is reasonable, but the scorpion poison man with the head of a human and the body of a snake in front of us is one of the ancestors of our scorpion serpent sect. Therefore, as juniors, it's only natural that we take back these things. And there seems to be something interesting down there. Elder, do you not wish to explain it? Moments later, the woman beside Elder Venom Fong stepped forward, her tone sharp as she spoke. Her delicate beauty and graceful figure, combined with her venomous voice, made her aura unexpectedly sharp and aggressive. Second-tier reincarnation stage? Xiao Yan looked at the woman with a hint of surprise. His soul perception indicated that her strength wasn't terrifying, but why did he feel a strange sense of unease? Xiao Yan, this person's strength is not formidable, but her control over poison is terrifying. At that moment, looking at the 2 of them, ready to strike, Poison Soul Child's face turned pale. Attack! With a cold snort, a tremendous surge of fiery energy exploded from Xiao Yan's body. Flame and poison were 2 extremely opposing forces. One burned everything, while the other silently poisoned all it touched. Playing with fire. Be careful not to burn yourself, old man. Elder Venom Fong sneered, and crimson poisonous mist quickly gathered behind him, forming into a menacing energy snake that quietly coiled behind him. The scarlet poison mist seemed to slow Xiao Yan's gathering of Doqi, and when he looked up at Elder Venom Fong's sinister smile, a chill ran down his spine. I'll deal with the other one. This Elder Venom Fong is yours to handle. This time he must die. Although Poison Soul Child had not fully recovered from his injuries, seeing the green barrier below and the 2 energy essences that had been seized, he could only grit his teeth. Just buy me some time. Xiao Yan's face was cold, his killing intent palpable as he scanned his surroundings. He could clearly feel that the space here was extremely solid, secured by the demon poison god pool's dense poison mist, making it impossible for his soul power to penetrate. At first, I was worried about triggering the old monsters in the poison god palace, but with the existence of the demon poison god pool and its thick poison mist, I need not worry. Whoosh whoosh. While Xiao Yan was thinking, his body moved. The glazed sacred flames transformed into massive fire serpents, roaring through the air with the immense power of reincarnation behind them, tearing through the void as they charged toward Elder Venom Fong. Just a first-tier reincarnation stage. This is a good opportunity to use you all to commemorate my poison technique. Seeing Xiao Yan's vicious attack, Elder Venom Fong waved his hand. The crimson poison snakes that circled behind him hissed and writhed as the void around them seemed to distort unnaturally. Boom, boom, boom. The fire serpents howled as they collided with the crimson poison snakes surrounding Elder Venom Fong. A massive shockwave of rebound force spread out, immediately deflecting Xiao Yan's attack. The fire serpents shattered and were dispersed in an instant, as the scorching firestorm and poison mist intermingled, turning the space into an eerie sight. Truly powerful. Seeing his attack easily neutralized, Xiao Yan's face grew solemn. Clearly, without the use of Do formation and the Demon Lord's body, his true combat strength was probably no more than an average third-tier reincarnation expert. Facing a third-tier reincarnation expert, This was undoubtedly a formidable challenge. If he overcame this, Xiao would undoubtedly be reborn. You arrogant brat, die. Seeing Xiao standing still, Elder Venom Fong's body slowly rose, surrounded by dense poison mist. The poisonous snakes behind him let out eerie, soul-chilling roars, and a power that could annihilate all life began to emerge. No. How is this possible? The fire lotus surged, and the entire void was filled with countless scarlet, demonic, and poisonous mists that recoiled and retreated, leaving a space at the center where Xiao lotus fire platform could stand tall. Didn't you know? Fall before me. A sinister smile curled at the corner of Xiao mouth as his palms slowly raised the lotus fire platform, as if admiring a perfect sculpture. As soon as his words fell, Xiao released his grip, sending the platform toward the Venom Fong's position. Boom! The lotus fire platform appeared calm in Xiao hand, but as soon as it left his body, a torrent of 5 colored flames erupted wildly from the platform. Wherever the flames went, the void trembled, and even the dense poisonous mists were burned away, dissipating into white vapor. Intermediate Immortal Technique. Venom Fong's Fury. At that moment, Elder Venom Fong was surrounded by scarlet poisonous mists that turned into countless drops of crimson liquid, falling onto the nearby energy poisonous snakes, which roared and howled in rage. Rip! Absorbing such immense poisonous power, the venomous snakes' bodies instantly swelled, vibrant poisonous patterns erupted, and they opened their mouths wide, revealing a set of white fangs as long as several dozen feet. The sinister fangs were sharp and deadly, imbued with the terrifying power to obliterate life. As they roared, combined with Elder Venom Fong's immortal technique, they released terrifying waves of energy that could crush even souls, causing Xiao to feel dizzy and his body to sway as if on the verge of collapse. Boom! The two attacks collided, and violent, explosive energy erupted, clearly indicating a battle where neither side held the upper hand. Bang! 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 The void again quivered as both Xiao and Elder Venom Fong were thrown backward at high speed. Xiao breath was disordered, but Elder Venom Fong's skin was marked with red scorching burns, making him look horribly disfigured. Brother Xiao, leave this to me. Just as the two were quietly facing off, a sweet voice rang out, followed by a golden halo spreading out, directly charging toward Elder Venom Fong, chasing him down. Damn, this is ridiculous. A mere first-tier reincarnation stage kid, and he's managed to hurt me like this? Next time, I'll peel your skin off and turn you into a poison man, a puppet for me to control for generations. Crimson blood flowed from Elder Venom Fong's eyes, ears, and other places as he roared in resentment. Looking at Xun'er's attack, he could only grit his teeth and weigh his options. Don't worry, you won't have another chance. Swish. The golden halo vanished in a flash, and an ancient creature spread its wings, followed by a golden claw imprint that, without warning, broke through Elder Venom Fong's last barrier of poisonous mist, shattering his body and poison core. Don't dirty your clothes. Brother Xiao doesn't like that. After the 5-legged golden crow struck down Elder Venom Fong, Xun'er casually swept away the remaining scarlet poisonous mist and blood in front of her, then kicked the dying Venom Fong's body towards Sister Little Fairy Doctor. Quickly, she ran to Xiao side, helping him up with a worried look. I'm fine, but there's still one person. We absolutely can't let her escape. Xiao suppressed the wild, sacred flame inside him and spoke quietly. Though the Buddha's Wrath reincarnation had consumed nearly 80% of his reincarnation power, Elder Venom Fong had exhausted almost 90% of his strength to resist, which was why he was finally killed by Xun'er. Don't worry, that person won't escape either. Xun'er smiled gently, quietly supporting Xiao as if enjoying the show. Damn! Poison Soul Child, you led outsiders into the Poison God Palace's forbidden area to hunt poisonous beasts, and today you killed one of the elders. You deserve to die 1,000 deaths. The Poison Lady beside them glared at Poison Soul Child, unable to believe that the mighty Elder Venom Fong, at the peak of the 3rd-tier reincarnation stage, had fallen so easily. Quit talking nonsense. Thud. Poison Soul Child wouldn't waste time with her. With a palm infused with the most powerful poisonous mist, he struck the Poison Lady's delicate body. Instantly, this seemingly invincible Poison Lady began emitting waves of white mist, and with a breath, she vanished completely.